All right. Good evening, everybody. I'm Patty McGee, your host of tonight's live. I am on TikTok, Morning Strength page, and my regular page. So welcome, everybody who is interested in this topic tonight. It's going to be very personal to me. So just make sure I got everything together here. It's been a long journey, and that's why I felt I wanted to share this journey with you. It's been a while since I've come on TikTok at all, but just been really trying to deal with this abdomen pain and to get my health back in check as I work on my book and everything else that I'm doing. So, excuse me for a second. That's my pad here. All right. Well, tonight we are talking about parasites. Okay. And the reason why we're talking about it is because I, for the last 3 years, have been sick. And I've had intense abdominal pain. I have been to the doctor multiple times, and I'll go over that, trying to figure out what could be the problem. So I just want to welcome everybody tonight. I want to talk about a topic that's not always discussed, especially when it comes to gut problems and going to the bathroom. Many of us don't want to do that, but I think it's going to make a huge difference in how we look at ourselves and look at how do we treat ourselves, right? I'm always about holistic, always about we can heal from within. And it's a struggle when we can't. When we're going 3 years and we can't find the answer. And that's a huge struggle. So how we feel day to day, right? If you've ever dealt with unexplained fatigue, bloating, digestive discomfort, this is something you might want to consider tonight. So 3 years ago, it was April of 2022, or May of 2022, I went to the doctor with this terrible abdominal pain, didn't know what was going on, and that was really my journey. I felt like something was squeezing off, like I had an inner tube. I couldn't lose any weight. Hi, Ann Faust. Hi, Mary Lou. Dave Malibu, Louise, thanks for joining tonight, whether you're on TikTok or Facebook. But so I really started around April 25th of 2022. I just had this pain after I had COVID, and it was just squeezing my abdomen off like crazy, no matter what I did. And I literally couldn't lose a pound. I was gaining weight, actually, and I didn't know, what was going on. So I met with the doctor, and then in May 5th, I went back because my pain was way more intense and it was worsening. And the doctor did some exams on me and, sent me on my way, said she didn't really know. So then in November, I was getting very fatigued. This is still 2022. I had the ongoing abdominal pain, did some CT scans of my abdomen, blood work, nothing came back. Everything came back healthy. Move into May 17th, 2023. I felt even more tired and asked my doctor for pain medication. And if you can see over my shoulder here, I got a whole stack of everything that I've tried over the last 3 years to help me out. And I asked for the pain medication. The doctor gave it to me, but I never took it because I didn't know what I was medicating. I'm not a believer in just because. I didn't want to mask a symptom. If there's something that I've learned over these last 22 years since my cancer, it was don't mask the symptoms, right? So I got the pain medication. I wouldn't take it. then that was in 2023. October, I still didn't feel well, went back to the doctor. We started doing more exams. We had a physical, scans of my kidneys, my ribs, my right flank area. And the pain would radiate from the right back lat area, rib cage area to the front. And it was just nonstop. I was trying every diet out there. Every diet plan you can think of: carnivore diet, Optavia, Mediterranean. I was eating so healthy. Nothing made sense because of the pain I was in. 2024 or 2023, I still didn't feel well in October. May 2024, at a physical, I complained again about the abdominal pain. We did more scans of my kidneys, my ribs, my right flank area. June of 2024, severe abdominal and back pain. In July 15th, the right flank pain was getting worse. This is all just, within 2 months of each other. August of 2024, I did a 10-day parasite cleanse. And I did that more so, I'm trying to think why I did that. There was another reason that I did it. It wasn't for a parasite, but it ended up alleviating some of my pain. And I was like, wow, this works. A friend of mine had introduced me to this parasite cleanse. But what it did is it paralyzed him, but it didn't get rid of him because I didn't do the protocol correctly back then in August 24. Then in December 19th, I had fatigue. I was doing an exercise challenge. It was for 6 weeks. I ate so clean. I did these intense exercises, and all I did was get fatigue. I didn't lose any weight. I didn't lose anything. It was very frustrating. January 22, we did a colonoscopy. We did an endoscopy. Everything came back clean. My colonoscopy was the cleanest it had ever been. And what do you do at that point, right? You're 3.5 years into it, and you don't have any answers. Went through this winter. In May, I went back to the doctor for a regular physical. I said, I'm still suffering with my abdominal pain, the tightness, severe fatigue. A friend of mine was over visiting, and it literally brought me to my knees. We had breakfast, and I had to lay down on the couch. And then that night for dinner, we had some chicken and vegetables and stuff, and it intensely dropped me to my knees again. So I called the doctor again, went in. We did more CT scans of my liver, gallbladder, kidneys, more blood work. And what came back was high cholesterol and high eosinophils. So I started researching that. And the symptoms of a parasite or cancer came up in that. And that was my other fear, was if they couldn't find this, did I have cancer somewhere that they couldn't find? So on June 6th, I got all my tests back. They all came back good except for the high cholesterol and eosinophils. All right. So I asked my doctor if I could have a parasite, and she said no. She thought it was a food allergy. So I decided that I was going to listen to my gut, and I was going to start a parasite cleanse. So right around June 5th, June 6th, I did this parasite cleanse, which was 3 capsules, one every 8 hours, of ivermectin and fenbenzidol. The fenbenzidol was 222 milligrams, and the ivermectin was 12 milligrams. Now, I want to make a statement that before you start anything, make sure you know what you're taking. Make sure you know the dosage correctly, and you should check with your medical team. Okay, I just need to make that statement clear to all of you. Just don't go out. Hi, Deb. And just don't go out and take things that you aren't aware of. Okay, so I do want to put that statement out there. Check with your doctor first. and make sure you understand the protocol. And I say that because I started this parasite cleanse, and it is called Parapurge. It's from Free Range Supplements. And within 24 hours, I took 3 capsules. And within 24 hours, all my symptoms were gone. And I was amazed. Now, here's where my mistake came in, and that's why I'm saying this to you. On this bottle, there's no directions, okay? The new bottles that they have now have directions on them, and they've lowered the dose. I should have been taking 1 capsule a day for the 222 milligrams of fenbendazole and 12 milligrams. I was taking 3, so I was taking triple the dose. Now, my body handled it well. There's no damage. There's no nothing. It knocked the socks off of the parasites, and it really, I'm 5 weeks pain-free, okay? But please make sure you read them. When I was in Florida, after I had taken this for a couple of weeks at a friend's, she had ordered some, and I noticed her bottle had directions on there and dosages and stuff. And I was like, wait a minute, your dosage is a lot less than mine. So I reached out to Free Range to get clarification. And they have since changed their protocol to a dosage that people can handle better, okay? So I want to make sure I make that clear if you go online and all of a sudden you start buying any of this stuff, because it's important that you understand what you're taking. So welcome everybody on TikTok. So that's been my journey. So I started the parasite cleanse. It's now been 5 weeks. I have been pain-free. So now the journey is to rebuild my system that's been depleted for so long. And I can tell you, after just 3 weeks of working out, I feel marvelous. I feel so strong. I love getting up. I go swimming every day. I working out with weights. I'm eating, even healthier than I was before. So this journey has taught me to listen to my body and keep researching the answers, even when they aren't obvious. Okay. So I reached out to, it got so bad at the beginning of June that I reached out to a friend of mine that used to own a health food store, Deb, and told her I was going to try Dr. Josh Axe's program. Now, his program is anywhere from $3,000 to $10,000. Dr. Pompa's program is anywhere up to $7,000 to $10,000. I was that desperate for answers for my stomach. And in talking to her, I went back and researched some things and decided I wasn't going to do it, that I was going to do this parasite cleanse first. And I'm glad I did that, because here's what I learned from their programs and from massage school. In massage school, we learned that our cells have a life shelf of 120 days roughly. So every 120 days, you're getting new cells. Every doctor, holistic doctor's programs with supplements and stuff is usually around 4 months. And that's because we don't know what day our cells are dying off on. We don't know if it's day 1 or day 120. So you have to be consistent when you're rebuilding yourself. This is not just let's do Parapurge for 10 days on, 5 days off, 10 days on, and we're good to go. That's not what it's about. You have to keep this up, okay? Yeah, Deb, I know you don't charge that much. But yeah, so it's important to know that when you start a protocol, this is not a one and done. You have to rebuild with probiotics, prebiotics, healthy food, so that you can keep the parasites away. Otherwise, they're going to come back. So if you're eating a lot of sugar, you're drinking some Coca-Cola here. I have this here because, parasites feed on sugar, right? How much sugar is in here? 39 grams of sugar, added sugar to one soda. So if you drink a lot of sugar or eat a lot of sugar, you're wasting your money on doing this. So hi Martha, hi Mike. So make sure you're ready to change your life when you're doing this, okay? I can't specify that enough. So let's start back to the beginning, kind of, now that you know my journey over 3 years of testing. And the interesting part was when my doctor said no, I did this cleanse anyways, and then I reached out to her because you want to make sure you do things right. So I bought those bowls that you go to the bathroom in, and I collected my poop, and I took chopsticks from a restaurant that I had, and I dug through and I got the parasites out, and I got the worms out. And the worms that you see on the thumbnails or the pictures are exactly what my feces looked like. And so I learned that the ivermectin paralyzes the parasite, and the fenbenzidol comes in and it flushes out the parasite and the eggs that have been laid inside the intestines and the stomach and everything, the lining. So when you look at your feces, your poop, you're going to see little things that look like flax seeds. They're about the color of a flax seed. And you want to make sure that you can see that. So I recommend, if you're going to do a cleanse, that you get these bowls. You can get 5 of them for like $10 on Amazon. And for 5 days, collect your poop and watch how it changes over time if you have parasites, if you've had these stomach issues. So I just want to make sure that is clear tonight. So there's a lot of things you have to do to prepare yourself for this, and to know that you're doing it the right way. Don't just go buy it, go to the bathroom and be like done with it, because that doesn't work. Okay, especially if you want to be holistic about it and heal yourself. So let's talk about what is a parasite. Okay, it's an organism that lives in our bodies. It's feeding off our nutrients. So what happens when it takes our nutrients? Now, a lot of people don't have bacteria and parasites that are detrimental. Everybody's got good bacteria, bad bacteria, and that's why we take probiotics, right? But when it feeds off your nutrients, this was robbing me. It was robbing my body of all the nutrients that I had. And over 3 years, it was just getting worse and worse. And in the beginning of June, I was to the point that I would go and massage for 8 hours at work, and then I'd come home. I'd have to put a pillow under my back, and I had to lay down on my couch. I couldn't function. And I was ready to ask work to take me out for a month to see if I could find a solution to these problems that I was having. And I found the solution before I had to be taken out of work. 24 hours, and I was functioning like never before. So when I tell you it takes your nutrients, it takes every bit of nutrients from you. And it really makes you fatigued and brain fog. The parasites are microscopic, like protozoa, or larger, like worms. I actually had worms in my poop. And common ways we can pick them up. People ask you, how did you get it? You know, and at work, I was joking. I said I would like to blame it on work, but I can't. So where I think I got it from was I had COVID severely in September of 2021. And all these symptoms started in 2022. But October, November of 2021, I was at my apartment complex, and I was outside grounding, walking barefoot in the grass. And about 3 weeks in, I said to myself, there's a lot of dog poop out here. I probably shouldn't be doing this. And I really think I picked it up out there doing that. I'm not really a raw person, raw meat eater, raw sushi eater, none of that kind of stuff. So I really don't think I picked it up. And, it could have been from food. It could have been from a pork chop that I ate or some kind of hamburger. I usually eat my meat pretty well cooked. I'm not someone that likes it raw. I don't like it medium rare. I don't even really like it medium. So, but it could be from my food, or because of the timing of it, I just feel like it started after I started grounding. So, and my immune system was so weak, so I probably couldn't fight it off. So, it just, that's where I feel I got it from. Okay. I wasn't traveling at the time. I really don't think it was undercooked meat. So, and I didn't have a pet, but there's a lot of people here that let their pets poop all over the grounds here. So I stopped that. That's when I started getting the symptoms, and it's been ever since 2022 that I was dealing with these symptoms. So common characteristics and symptoms. Often parasites go unnoticed for a long time. So if you recognize that it was April, May of 2022 when I went to the doctor, here it is July 2025. So that's a long time that we went through testing. CT scans, ultrasounds, contrast, x-rays. I would tell her, I went in and said, I think I have my cancer spread. I go, I think my cancer's back and it metastasized, because when a person has metastatic cancer, they tell you it's this pain that you never felt before. And this was a pain that I never felt before. Like, I just could not get it under control. I was going to the chiropractor 2 times a week. I was getting massage sometimes 3 times a week. And when I left the massage, I felt like I didn't even get a massage, and it actually made my pain worse. So I didn't know what it was. So yes, these symptoms go unnoticed for a long time. We try everything but thinking about a parasite, right? Their symptoms can mimic other issues. The key symptoms to look for that I had: abdominal pain and cramping, chronic fatigue, feeling run down, nutrient depletion, even with a healthy diet. I had people telling me, try the carnivore diet. You're losing your authenticity because, you're not losing weight and you're trying to talk healthily. And I mean, it was a big struggle for me, right? Try all these other things. I tried Optavia. I tried the fitness challenge, and really nothing. I had bloating, gas, abdominal tenderness, unexplained weight gain or weight loss, sometimes difficulty losing weight, abdominal tightness. That was terrible. It really was like squeezing off my stomach. I'd just sit there and I'd put my hands like this on my stomach and push down. Ginger would help relieve some of the symptoms. I don't know what that was about. And sometimes some skin issues or irritability. I didn't have any skin issues, but I had every other symptom. And so why do these symptoms happen, right? Parasites feed on the nutrients you eat, leaving you depleted. So that creates the fatigue. They can disrupt your digestion. My digestion was terrible. I wasn't going to the bathroom except every 7 to 10 days. And at that time, I was taking fiber, I was taking Colace, I was taking Smooth Move tea. I'm trying to think. It's not Metamucil, but it's something like that. Maalox, something to that effect. I was living on that stuff just so I could eliminate. And it still was every 7 to 10 days. It wasn't daily. It wasn't every other day. And I kept saying, something's not right. I'd go between constipation and diarrhea. It was really tough. Your body may react with inflammation causing the tenderness and the tightness. I felt like my diaphragm was stuck up under my rib cage, and just right along that rib cage, it was just like squeezing it off. I'd be like this, I'd push it down, and it just was terrible. And then some parasites release toxins, which make you feel tired or foggy. And that was me. I'd wake up in the morning, I was fine. As soon as I ate anything, because it started stripping those nutrients, my pain came right back. So how do you test for parasites, right? Again, I looked in my stool sample. My doctor did, after I told her that I had the parasite in there, she told me I could come in and get my stool sample analyzed. I did not do that. I just continued on with my stuff because I already knew that I had one because I saw it. But you can take it to LabCorp, Quest, and you can have your stool samples. Even if you don't have health insurance, you can go to LabCorp and get any blood work done that you need done. So if you need a full blood panel, CBC panel, you can go and they will charge you like $100 and something for it. If you need your stool sample analyzed, you can go get it done. So don't be afraid to go get this stuff done and have it tested. I'm a firm believer that you need to get the diagnosis before you can treat anything. So that's why I keep going until I get the answers that I need. So the most accurate way is through a stool sample. Then some blood tests can show signs of infection or inflammation. And if you're experiencing ongoing digestive issues, talk to your healthcare provider about further testing. So for me, we did all the testing of my organs, everything. Now here's the kicker for me. I do meditation, and right around June 2022 or 2023, I can't remember, June 2022 or 2023, I can't remember, maybe 2023. I was in a meditation and praying for people, and I saw the parasite in my stomach. It was this, I had thermographic all over except for this right side where all my symptoms were. And this little parasite was in this hole, and it would come out and it would eat, and then it'd go back in. It would come out and then it would go back in. And I thought it was for somebody else that I was praying for. So I didn't even think it was for me. Had I listened to myself back then, I could have taken care of it back then. But it was plain as day. I had the red, yellows, greens all down the left side, the right leg, left leg. And then it was that one area. It showed my gallbladder, my liver, everything in there. And it showed the parasite. It was just an incredible meditation. So now I pay attention to my meditations when I see something that I think might be for me. So how do we cleanse the body? How did I do it? I did it with fenbenzidol and ivermectin. Again, I took free range to knock it out. And then my friend Deb that I told you about, she recommended the Silver Fern brand. So I started researching them, and I reached out to them, and they told me it was a motility issue first. So I got on their motility products, their upper GI products, their digestive enzymes. Great brand, and their reflux. But since I cured the parasite now, past the parasite, I really don't need that now, because I go regularly for the most part. So I am now working with them on a protocol. They have their own Parasite cleanse. They have a nano scrub and something else. So I'm working with them on rebuilding my system with their products. So instead of going with Dr. Josh Axe and Dr. Pompa's 4-month program, I'm going with Silver Ferns. It's much cheaper. They really have a great support system for you. So that's the reason I chose them. So it's Silver Fern brand, Live Well. I don't know if you can see that on there in their logo, but they're someone I would reach out to for a lot of your health issues. If you want to lose weight, anything like that, it's all natural. So that's where I'm going with that. Now that I've knocked the Parasite out, I still have a bottle of the Parapurge. So I'm going to finish this up. And I probably will go back to free range Parapurge for just a daily dose of ivermectin and fenbenzidol, just for a while, till I know I'm really feeling and losing the weight and feeling the best that I can feel. Ivermectin and fenbenzidol have been used for animals, but now they're getting more attention for human beings, right? For parasite cleansing. And, it was during COVID, it was a big joke about taking ivermectin for COVID. And why would you take a parasite that's for animals for humans? But come to find out, the studies have always been there that it is healthy for humans. But in my opinion, Big Pharma didn't want anybody to know that. So how they work: fenbenzidol interferes with the parasite's ability to absorb the sugar, essentially starving them and causing them to die off. And the ivermectin paralyzes it and kills the parasite, allowing your body to eliminate them naturally. They're both typically used in a short course and can be very effective, but they're not for everyone and should only be taken under medical supervision. Okay? Again, make sure you know what you're doing. Make sure you talk to somebody that knows what they're doing, even the people from that company, so that you have a plan in place. Okay. How do you support your body during a cleanse? Stay hydrated and nourish your body with whole foods. It's very important that you eat healthy during a cleanse, any kind of cleanse. If you're not going to, you're just throwing your money out the window. Okay. Consider gentle detox support like fiber, probiotics, and rest. You shouldn't be working out hard if you're doing a cleanse. You want your body to heal. Okay. You can see back here all these supplements. I mean, I was in pain so bad that I tried ayahuasca. I went and did a 1-night ayahuasca retreat here in Georgia. That didn't really do anything but make me throw up. I thought that would have gotten rid of the parasite, but it didn't. I've tried gummies morning, night, noon to get my energy up. THC gummies. I've tried Miro gum for energy and focus. I mean, I was desperate. I was trying everything. I tried super mushroom focused gummies, some metabolic advance, bromelain, nitric oxide, which is for your brain, fiber, magnesium. I went with Dr. Gundry. He's got MCT wellness. I mean, I was trying everything. Naked energy for just anything that I could. I did a liver detox just to try and figure out a solution before I knew it was the parasite. So you can see all the money I spent for a $99 parasite cleanse that wiped it out in 24 hours. So, keep going, keep digging, right? So my final thoughts here as we go through this, if you're struggling with unexplained symptoms, you're not alone. All over social media, right? Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, every holistic medical profession person out there is promoting bloating, stomach pain, gas, weight gain, menopausal. What did my doctor call it? Gastric. I don't have it in front of me, but like gastric. Let's see if she's got it in here. No. But she called it gastric something, and I was like, okay, whatever. But you're not alone, and there's answers out there. But before you buy a $5,000 program, a $7,000 program, a $10,000 program, look at something simpler. Look at your life, okay? And see what you eat, see what you drink, see if you exercise, write it all out, put it down in front of you, look at it, and get honest with yourself. Are you trying everything? For me, I was trying everything. I was researching, and once you determine if you're trying everything, and your doctor can't come up with an explanation, research the life cycle of your cells, research these programs that are 4, 6, 8 months, and then start adding things into your diet, your daily routine, so that you can try and figure out what's wrong. For me, it was a parasite. For you, it might be menopause. For someone else, it might be something else. Thank you, Mary Lou, for your words. Okay. So remember, small, consistent steps toward wellness make a big difference over time. This took me over 3 years to diagnose. So it takes time. But keep eliminating things. Keep trying things until you get it right. One of the things I learned after I had the cancer came from a gentleman who was a maintenance worker, custodial worker at a hospital that I worked at. And many people mocked him. They didn't think he was of value. They thought he was weird and all of that. And I was working at the register in the cafe that they had there for the employees and the guests. And he would come in and we would talk. And he actually worked at GNC, and he read their whole catalog on every product there. He knew it inside and out. He knew what to take for what. And at that time, I was dealing with a bone spur in my right heel. And he said, take magnesium with calcium, and within 30 days, it'll be gone. The inflammation will be down. And he said that the magnesium and calcium work together to break down the excess calcium, the bone spur in your heel or in your body anywhere. And then the magnesium will eliminate the inflammation. And within no time, I was feeling better. And we would just talk about different supplements at that time because I was starting my holistic journey. So there are hidden gems. There are people. So when you come across something online that might be a little strange to you, listen to it because you don't know, right? But use your judgment, because you don't want to be scammed, number one. Okay. Free range. If you choose to buy, say, this product here, make sure you buy it from Free Range. Go to their website. Don't buy it off of Amazon, because you're not going to get the true ivermectin and fenbenzidol. You're going to get something completely fake. So you have to go to the company. Whenever you're buying supplements, go to the company, because you want the real supplements. Okay? You want to make sure you're getting the real deal. Okay? Listen to people out there. Listen to the people around you, what they're taking, who they're going to. Find a holistic doctor in your area that you trust, or one online that does telemed that you can go to. You can buy blood work panels online from people, from good doctors, or good nurses, good doctors, that they will send it out at a reasonable cost. It can cost you a couple $100 to get your blood work done. But you've got to trust the source. You've got to trust yourself. Okay? And it takes small, consistent steps towards wellness to make a big difference over time for your health. I feel the best I've felt in 3 years, and just within 5 weeks of clearing that parasite out, I'm gaining muscle and losing the fat. I don't have the fatigue that I had. So I really, really want you to take control of your health for you. Okay? If you have any questions, drop them in the comments or message me privately. If you're on Facebook, you can send a private message. Go join my Morning Strength page on Facebook, where I post all about taking control of your health in your life. I have videos on TikTok that you can go watch. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Twitter. I don't post too much on Twitter, but I'm on there. And then if you found this helpful, please share it with a friend, or leave a comment. And if you want more tips on mind, body, and spirit wellness, if you're looking for a life coach, I'm a life coach. Be sure to follow my Morning Strength page. And I just want to thank you all for attending tonight. And please reach out. I'll be doing more of these lives now that I'm feeling better. My book is getting ready to be published for this fall, so I don't have to spend as much time on my book that's coming out. And I look forward to seeing all of you on my next live. So have a great night. I'm sending love and strength to each of you tonight. Listen to yourself. Listen to your body. Get to know your body. Remember that it takes 120 days for your cells to die off. So any protocol that you start, whether it's a healthy diet, it's a supplement, it's an exercise routine, you've got to give it 4 months. Okay? Have a great night, and I'll see you on the next live.